Go to the issue of family.
Family. The veterans, they are traditional and nuclear.
They are traditional and they go for the nuclear family. And okay, go on.
The baby boomers disintegrating.
That's not a good comment, but go on.
Generation X, latchkey kids.
Okay. In other words, we are disintegrating. They are really disintegrated. They are kids, but moving away from their nucleus. That's why you can have your son. You and the mother brought him up. He goes to Australia, never to come back. That generation. Sometimes can be only you are in Nairobi or in Kisumu. Yes. They still don't come. Every time you ring them, they send you money. It's not. There's nothing you're after. For the guy to want me to, it must be my father has run out of what? That's why it's going. Am I talking about them? Yeah. Yes. You are here, you might have to talk for yourself, but that's what we think about you. Read on.
Generation Y, matched families.
All of a sudden, there are people coming, a new generation, who are said to be now wanting to recreate what has gone wrong with the past. Now, read on. Education.
Veterans, a dream.
They really dreamt to going to school, but many of them didn't go.
Baby boomers, birthright.
How can I not be educated? What's wrong with you, father? They felt the education is there, birthright.
Generation X, a way to get there.
Yeah, in other words, it's a vehicle to get where they want to go.
Generation Y, an incredible experts.
Yes. Communication,
media, veterans, rotary, phones.
Rotary, you remember the ones we are doing like this? Yeah.
One-on-one, write a memo.
That's why we cannot understand why our sons are sending money. Instead of, even if you want to give me money, don't embezzle. Come and give me mkono kwa mkono kwa. That's our generation. That's a bit true. Yes, go on.
Baby boomers, touch tone phones, call me anytime.
Yes.
Yeah, call me.
They can call you at midnight.
Anybody here, you can call me anytime.
Yeah. Go on.
Generation X, cell phones, call me only at work.
That's terrible. You want to call them anytime. They say, Papa, why are you disturbing me? I came home with a lot of work and stress. But for us, there's no time to tell somebody not to talk to you. Go on.
Generation Y, internet, picture phones, email.
Yeah, they have all of that. Picture phones. Who can explain to you picture phones? Young people, tell me what are picture phones. In other words, you don't talk, we look at each other. And it's a phone, isn't it? Now,
Video phone.
yes, a video phone. Yes. Now, I remind you, all generations are wrong. There are some old people who behave like X.
Yeah.
And there are some X people who behave like baby boomers.
Young one.
It's not necessarily true in every situation. And I think that's important. Finally,
Dealing with money. The veterans put it away, pay cash.
yeah, we are saving for our children. Then they destroy it. But anyway, go on.
Baby boomers, buy now, pay later.
Yeah.
Yes, we want to enjoy it. Go on.
Generation X, cautious, conservative, save.
Okay, I hope that is true because then they will be very rich. They will have led a very poor life and leave their children with a very rich life. Save. Go on.
Generation Y, and to spend.
Why do you have to wait? You can borrow any time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know now, you don't even need any collateral. You just borrow and spend. I think that's true in Kenya. That is true school in Kenya. My sister, because you are so good in reading, I'm not about to release you.
Workplace characteristics, the work ethics, veterans, respect authority, hard work, age equals seniority, company first.
But that's what I found. You know, they are the people who employed us. When I joined Shell, you knew who is senior by his age. You getting my point? So in fact, the other word for a manager is Mzee. And you know, because we were in that changing generation, I became the manager in the 80s. I became a manager for supplies to Western Kenya and Nyanza province. And my staff, who are older than me, used to call me Mzee. Initially, I was insulted. Then I realized they don't mean any harm. The word Mzee means boss. That happens to be true. You thought every age, things change after that, but initially, people were promoted on age. Go on.
Baby boomers, workaholics, desire quality, question authority.
We worked hard. Go on.
Generation X, eliminate the task, self-reliant, want structure and direction, skeptical.
Okay.
Generation Y, what's next? Multitasking, tenacity, entrepreneurial.
Okay. Let's keep, because the notes are being sent to you, so you don't have to go through all of it. I talk about communication.
Communication. For the veteran, it's formal, memo. Baby boomers, in person. Generation X, direct, immediate. Generation Y, email, voicemail.
Okay. And then, what motivates this generation?
The veterans are motivated by being respected. Baby boomers being valued and needed.
You know, this group, even if you don't give him a salary increase, just change his title.
Yeah.
From being called a sweeper, become a sweepology manager. Yeah, sweepology manager. Somebody in charge of sweeper.
Yeah.
And especially give him a card.
Second.
Yes. No salary increase. And you go telling the wife, you know, I'm going places. So can you call me back? Not yet. Anyway, don't try that with the people. Okay, read on.
Generation X, freedom and removal of rules.
Yeah, they want freedom. They will not work in a place where they feel controlled.
Generation Y, working with other bright people.
Yeah, working in teams will attract them. Then work-life balance is the last item we are reading.
Work-life balance. Veterans, keep them separate.
Yeah. In other words, I have a machine. As soon as I'm in the office, I turn it on. On my way out of the office, I turn it off. No discussion of work, no carrying work home. There was home time and, which is our generation broke. Next.
Baby boomers, no balance, live to work.
Yeah, that's our problem. We did not become like our parents. We started mixing work time and started going home with work. So your son is telling you, Papa, I have a question. Not now. So the mother took over. Now we are complaining that all our money being saved by our children is going to the mother. But we planted it when you are not available to show them homework. Am I communicating? Because they ended up boarding with the mother and regarding the father as a stranger. His work was to be a bank. School fees came from father. That's why when the father calls, the reply is M-Pesa. Because they know that's what he's after. He was their bank then. They think the son has also now become a bank for them. Anyway, read on.
Generation X, balance, work to live.
Yeah, they are worse. Go on.
Generation Y, balance, it's 5 p.m. I've got another gig.
Okay, they are having small things they are doing beyond their immediate employment. Am I right? Yeah, anyway, I would have spent, we have run out of time. All this is about discussing the various generations, talking about these labels. Why the generational gap is a subject I would like to take up a lot of time. Now, give it to somebody else. Can we clap for that lady? Yeah. Strong voice and good English, according to me. The others might not agree, but that's what I think. Pass it on, but you have to be sure they have good eyesight. Read on. Oh, you haven't found anybody? Oh, you're specializing. Okay. Can you read?
Yes.
Okay.
This one.
Why the generation gap?
Why the generational gap? One, generational gaps are simply caused by age and the situation of the world at the time one generation has grown up. For example, the belief and perceptions of those who grew up during World War II may be different from those who grew up in the 1960s. Though to be sure, similarities will remain.
I hope you are getting what you are saying. You think your teenage is like your children, teenage. But because they are growing at a different time, those assumptions are wrong. There are some challenges your children are going through that you yourself never went through. And it's important to understand. And that missing to understand will create a problem between you and your children. Read on.
The technology gap between the older and the younger generation, generations can affect intergenerational relationships.
And I think that I have discussed quite a bit. Go on.
Differences in life goals. The younger generation is more vibrant and is willing to take risks. Their life goals and ambitions are quite different from those of the older generation.
So in a board, the younger people don't see what the problem is. That's not worry. You went for something and it collapsed. Before you can experience a second collapse, you're very careful, right? So as you grow older, you become risk averse. And part of it, don't blame us. It's because we are burning our fingers. You have never burned any. No one can say, jump. I might break my legs, and I've seen somebody actually break their legs. So it's important to understand we need both. You need these young people, but they will push you to the limit. You have to give them reason why the board cannot make this decision. Because they can't see what the problem is. Why no fears? They don't happen. 90% of your fears never come true. They push you. You will be theory. Have you thought of this? Have you thought of this? And you will discover actually they have not yet thought about it. And the board ends up with a balanced decision making. Because they have gone to the risk takers and risk averse. And they are inside the same board. So we ask ourselves, why the national difference? Because that's normal. If you want to read the story, just go to book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12. And it gives a list of all problems with good people. And you'll see, and I'll now go through them and discover I'm having them. But it's important to understand there is a difference and be careful. That's why you do not want to have any major decision being made without the presentation of women and youth. And you do not want to make a decision without the benefit of age. Did you get that? Because you have not fully analyzed the risk. Because you have not yet got the experience and the exposure. So listen to an old man. And we have explained this here of Barani. But first of all, listen to it. That we can take genuine and proper risk analysis. Read on.
In terms of respect or lack of it can greatly impact relationships between older adults and the younger generation.
In other words, here it is either way. When the young people think you are abandoning them, not giving them a chance, you are not respecting them. They will withdraw. They will even resign from your board. Am I right? You say, why am I doing? I don't have time to wait. The same thing is old people. If you throw them like, surely, if you are given very, what are you saying? And they feel in the board, they are not getting appreciated. Nobody is listening to them. They will resign from the board, and you'll be the poor by lacking those old people. So respect for whatever age is one thing that you must be careful. Read on. Differences
in values and lifestyles.
Yeah, what matters to you does not matter to me. And we are in the same boat, we are in the same family. You can see where the trouble comes. Your son says they are going for a bash. And they say, what bash? Do it here. Now, because in your time, you didn't understand what bash was. Yeah, so your values and the values are different. I can tell you one that is affecting me, madam. I've seen young people, when they go for meeting, the boys don't embrace the girls, they squeeze them. Have you seen it? Have you seen it? And I'm starting to wonder, are these boys, or might they be apological? Because you see, when a boy squeezes the girl,
And the girl also squeezes the boy.
Oh, also?
Yeah.
Now, when a girl and a boy squeeze each other, now let me be fair.
Yeah.
And they feel nothing, they are potential homosexuals. I did not say they are. I said what I used to do. I was very clear in that. Because if the boy feels nothing, why not? Because God created us as men to feel something. So I keep telling young people, if I don't have to feel something, start to think, hallelujah. Because it means you are biologically no more. Yeah. So, and because we are not, next time she comes to embrace you, give her your hand. But if you know the fact you are a boy, in your 20s, or your teens, and you are hot, if you know that, you are potentially homosexual. And no wonder these things are happening, you ask me why. It's because girls and boys do not seem to have any difference. Yet God created us. Created a boy around 18, 19. Attack him, not even embrace him, just a greeting. Things start happening. That was in our days, am I right? Yeah. We didn't understand that difference. Haven't understood it yet. Okay, read on.
Conflict is an inevitable part of intergenerational relationships, which may occur for various reasons, such as differences in values and lifestyles.
Then power
and clout. Most intergenerational conflicts are fundamentally about power or clout. She said,
a woman was interviewed.
A young person who wants more clout wants to be noticed.
Yeah. So it's all of us may have that problem. Especially the older you are, the more you want to be recognized, isn't it? So the minute you think that people are ignoring you, you start having clashes, but they are not content clashes. They are power play. And so if you really want good intergenerational things, respect the young people, let them be respected. The young people who are here must pretend to respect us, even if you don't. Because if you respect us, it gives us the freedom to talk. Are we together? And we might just benefit. We don't talk nonsense all the time. They are things we have gone through. And are going to reach where we are. So respect will be something that will be very, very important. I could have gone through others, but just running. So we are emphasizing the issue of communication. We must communicate. And talking is not communicating. I have to understand your language and you understand mine. Then we need to, in order to understand, we must spend more time together. That means you have to look for time to spend. The reason why I have gotten a lot of advantage is because from the time I left university, I didn't grow old up. I'm always talking to university students. The other day I was thinking about university, and one of the lecturers said, we were younger in college. I looked at him, I couldn't remember him. So I went and the students were away. And I asked him, which year did you leave campus? He said, 83. So I told him, it's true, we were in campus together. different sides of the pulpit. Because you see, I had left more than 5 years before him. But because I am always talking in campus, he remembers me in campus. So it has helped me to remain young. The moment you don't allow yourself, you create a club of ODs and always talking against the youth. You will soon not know their language. And it will be a problem because you will not benefit from the things they know and you don't. Especially when you are academic. You are a digital, my old friend. You are a digital immigrant. But they themselves are digital citizens. So you need them. Just like when you go to a new country, you need the owners. Yeah. So we have to find a way of dealing with it. So spend more time, create more time. And it means that if you're a board and the young people, you need board retreats where people get a time away from serious business to just listen to the young people. That's when they'll discover, hiya, you mean he was not such a fool? Now, because the older person just assumed he's a fool who knows what does not know what they are talking about. Create opportunities for the older members of the board and the young ones to be together. Then show genuine gestures. Young people want to know you are not joking. You are not paying PR or public relations. You actually are interested in what they are saying. And the old people too. Share your problems also. Let them know by the time I was your age, I felt in this way. I keep telling young people, talking to them, help them to make original mistakes without repeating mine. Because once I have told him what mistakes I did, he is not going to repeat them. Are we together? So it is in the interest of the young people to listen to me with my mistakes, because that allows them to avoid my mistakes. And if they must make any mistake, at least they make only original mistakes. And that's why this relationship must be given time. It cannot be just that you have people in the board. You must allow people who can share. Then respecting them can help bridge and act responsibly. Whatever age. You can't claim I'm old and you are running after small girls. Now, it will soon be clear you are not only old, but small. So it's important that you act responsibly if you want to communicate well. And you'll see there's the other things, and we have run out of time. Have patience with whoever. Keep up with the current trends. However old you are, I'm on YouTube, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so originally it was you what? Now I know what it is. And I know it works. The other day I was called by somebody from America. Says, I'm a Kenyan, I live in America, but we're calling around 5 a.m. Not why all at the time. Oh, it is too early, I'm sorry, I didn't hear it. Oh, and they talk and say, do you know me? No, I just saw you on the internet. And I was able to get your contact. Now I woke up properly because I was still sleeping. And we started talking. That's it. Only because I was mentored by young people. So people from everywhere are able to hear what one of my books which I've written. She said, can I donate the book to Kenyans? So she sent dollars for me to give the books to old people so the old people can understand what I said. Too late. I already passed them on. So you must keep up with the current. Don't compare yourself with others. Oh, when it was our time, as if these are not your time. Now, you must give everybody credit. And finding similar interests between the generations. And then fight fair. Because sometimes you'll fight, but fight fair. There's a way of fighting that's not fair. You leave people not able to talk again. But you can fight each other, but so respectively that at the end of the fight we are still friends. Am I right? Because there will be disagreement because of the ages. And then be willing to bridge the generational gap. Since you can see it, whoever is better had better do it. So what are we? We are finishing by saying there are 4 R's that are needed for strong intergenerational relationship. The 4 R's: respect, I've talked about that. Reciprocity is not one way, just old people respecting young, or young people respecting old ones. Reciprocity, responsibility, I talked about it, and resiliency, where you can be knocked down and you still rise up again. You can be insulted and still rise up again. Don't say, but they insulted me. I'll never go to that board again. Young people, why do you bring them in? Now find a way of having resilience to rise like the phoenix out of the ashes. The exact way they listen to you. And that's very, very important. And that those things happen. I still remember being in a board, an NGO board, and I was working for Shell. And there are principles that we follow in Shell because we are making money. And then there's something they were deciding. They were so excited about the results. I looked at it and I thought it made no result at all. So I quietly mentioned, can we look at the figures? This is what we got, yes. You spent this much, yes. So you only made this. So is that good or bad? You know what the CEO told me? Director Nana, you are just wanting to discourage us. Now I say, I thought I have explained myself. But because their mind is, we made this amount of money, but they are not doing the calculation, which of course in share we do. You must remove, you don't make money by the revenue you raised. It's the net after paying the expenses. But they have used very expensive ways to get that revenue. So they made hardly any money. But they don't even know about it. The fact that I'm making them know I'm an enemy. You know, and I think of course I know the CEO was doing it because of other members of management. He didn't want to discourage. When I went home, I asked myself, exactly why am I in that board? If they don't want my principles, why put that? And I was about to resign when I asked myself a question. Why did I join that board? It's because it was in line with my mission and vision in life. And that particular NGO is doing something that is good. Did the one who gave me the mission resign? If God gave me back, that's a God-given mission. Did he tell me to resign? No. The next board meeting I was there. That's what I'm talking about. And you go there, they expected you to be, no, you forget about it and talk and continue talking. If you do not have resiliency, my friend, you'll be an old man full of ideas going nowhere. Because nobody can listen to you. Are we together? They all have, therefore you go to Kerry and live there. You don't want to, I'm just joking with my friend, he's from Kerry. Yeah. You don't want to ever appear anywhere else.
Yeah.
After that. So I hope I'm clear enough about that. We could talk about 6 dimensions of intergenerational solidarity, association. We could go on, but I've run out of time. What are benefits of having the relationship? Number 1 is a health booster. Studies show that when you stay with young people, you remain young. And you are healthy.
True,
we can spend time on it.
That is true.
It is true. A guy who is only 4 years short of 80 has confirmed it is true. Number 2, building valuable connections. As you are dealing with young people, you know, sometimes I go to a hospital and a doctor is looking at me. Of course, I'm not in this. Says, "Are you not present?" Yes. You spoke to us in medical school. Oh, I see. And I was so happy about what you say. He excused, as you see, breathing, but the pain can't be felt. You need to understand that dealing with young people gives you current connections. You know, doctors of our age are already coming out of office, isn't it? So whenever you go to a doctor, it will be your child. By the time you are 7, almost every doctor will be your child. It will relate with them. You know, our connections are, we had connections, but they all retired. You now need young people as your connections. And they prove very, very, very good.
Florence, I had connections, you believe?
Oh, yes. No wonder Florence brought you here.
Oh. Not with her.
I know, not with her. Number 3, I've already dealt with. That when you relate with the intergenerational, you learn and teach new skills. And then number 4, pass on life lessons and corporate stories. There's something called institutional history, institutional memory. Many organizations don't have. I gave you one example, isn't it? Where you start putting someone in a place that was already decided is the wrong place. Because you have lost institutional memory. That's why I'm encouraging you. I'm not suggesting all people keep them in the book, but find a kind of a book of reference of all chairmen of the last 100 years. Go out in the hall for them for a cup of tea. Tell them what you are doing, what major directions, and I think it will be in your use. Embrace aging, and also help to embrace aging. Young people are afraid of growing old. When they realize you are 70 and agile, higher, it's okay to be over 70. Now he will be soon an example of 80. But and you meet a guy who is 80 and is excited, is in a whole conference in Ibaja. My, they feel higher. Even me. And I'm only 40. No. I'm going places. And that is important. One of the things I have talked about in the international relationship is what we call reverse mentoring, where older people get mentored by younger ones, and we could spend a lot of time. Old generation must encourage giving feedback for better relations and productivity, and we could go on about the importance of effective feedback. Why old should mentor younger ones? The greatest legacy of great leaders. There is no success without
A
successor. That's why you need to structure your availability. Assuming you have a good pension, call all your grandchildren for a party. Then you tell stories about your father. Are we together? But the stories are intended to pass values. Are we together? Yeah, it will cost you a bit of money, but they will enjoy it. It is important for realizing the leader's own vision and potential. Because you began the business. Once you are out, it will collapse. Unless the new people have accepted your vision. Am I communicating? Yeah, so it's important. Inspiring others to peak performance and keeping high flyers on the team. If they can't see where you are going, they will leave Athens Unicans and beyond. As leaders, now I want to answer the question, why do leaders not develop others? How come old people don't want to develop others? As leaders, we know we have a role to share responsibility, but our pride stops us. The first problem is old people can be proud. Because they are proud. They want to protect their pride by ensuring the younger people know absolutely nothing. Another issue is power and the need for it. You want to retain power. Therefore, you don't want the young people to know. Father or mother knows it best. And I know all of us who are managers have gone through that. You are promoted because you knew something. Then you have to talk to somebody who doesn't know it as well as you. What is the initial temptation? To keep replacing. Ever heard the story about the chef who was promoted to be the healthcare manager? The reason he became a chef is because he was very good at eggs, making omelets. And was making them so well, the whole hotel started attracting people because of his omelet. So even when he became the chief chef, he was still, and if there are many things to cook, he would always go to help the guy making omelet. But all the same, he was able to improve the work in the kitchen. So the next time the board was thinking about promotion, they made the hotel manager. But even as a hotel manager, he always came through the kitchen to make
omelette.
People are looking, suppliers are looking in his room. Tell them, wait, I'm making. What happened to that hotel? Collapsed. It's not communicating. It did? Collapsed. I don't know what I'm talking about here. Where you have been promoted, but you are able to help the younger person and trust him. Because you see, you never learn without making mistakes, isn't it? Trust him to allow him to make mistakes, then help him out of it. And we could go on. Another one is, I'm too busy. That's why you have no time for young people. The way I am busy, and you could go on. Father or mother knows best, and we have talked about that. And then I talked about feeding forward. I want us to have